If you've ever cut someone off without explaining yourself, there's a real chance people judged you hard for it. They might have said you're cold, avoidant, dramatic, or that you just ghost instead of communicating. Maybe they expected a whole explanation, a final talk, some long closure speech. And when you didn't give that, it probably looked harsh from the outside. You might have even second-guessed yourself like, did I handle that wrong? But psychology points somewhere totally different. For a lot of people, walking away quietly isn't cruelty or immaturity at all. It's protection. And more specifically, it's protecting your nervous system. If this already feels a little too real, stick with me. This isn't about dodging responsibility or running from every uncomfortable conversation. It's about understanding why, for some people, leaving without explaining is actually the most regulated move they can make. First, when explaining yourself is going to cost you more than it gives back. Psychology shows that emotionally aware people can tell when a situation just isn't safe or productive anymore. You can feel when explaining yourself will turn into arguing, defending, or constantly having to prove your reality. Maybe you've already tried explaining in the past, and it just led to gaslighting, dismissal, or the same conversation going in circles. So instead of reopening that door, you shut it, not because you don't care, but because you've learned some people don't want understanding. They want control. Walking away quietly is you choosing peace over emotional burnout. Second, your body reacts before your words even can. Research shows your nervous system often picks up on danger or overload before your brain can fully explain it. You might feel tense, drained, anxious, or shut down around certain people. Your chest tightens. Your patience disappears. Your sleep gets messed up. In those moments, explaining yourself clearly isn't even realistic. Your system is already in protection mode. Cutting contact isn't impulsive, it's instinctive. It's your body saying, this is too much, and you finally listening. Third, you don't believe everyone is entitled to access or closure. Psychology shows that healthy boundaries include knowing when not to engage. Not everyone deserves a full explanation, especially if they've crossed your boundaries over and over, ignored your feelings, or shown you exactly who they are. You get the closure doesn't always come from one last talk. Sometimes it comes from distance, from not being exposed to the same triggers anymore. You're not withholding explanations to punish anyone. You're choosing not to step back into something that already hurt you. Fourth, you've learned that over-explaining is often a trauma response. Research on emotional regulation shows that a lot of people over-explain because they're trying to stay safe, be understood, or avoid conflict. If you've done that before, you know how exhausting it is. Explaining every feeling, justifying every boundary, softening every truth so the other person doesn't get uncomfortable. Cutting someone off without explaining can actually be growth. It can mean you don't feel the need anymore to convince people that your experience was real. You trust yourself enough to walk away without a full courtroom defense. Fifth, you choose regulation over resolution. Psychology shows that not every relationship can be resolved in a healthy way. Some people escalate, manipulate, or invalidate the moment you try to talk things through. You've learned that resolution doesn't always calm your nervous system, but distance does. So you pick the option that helps your body settle. Less adrenaline, less overthinking, less emotional whiplash. That's not avoidance, that's self-regulation. You're choosing stability over another emotionally explosive conversation. Sixth, you understand that silence is a boundary. Research shows boundaries don't always have to be explained out loud. Sometimes they're behavioral. You stop responding. You stop engaging. You remove yourself. In this context, silence isn't passive-aggressive. It's clear. It says, I'm no longer available for this. People who respect boundaries get that, and people who don't, no amount of explaining would have changed anything anyway. Here's the part that really matters. Cutting people off without explaining doesn't automatically mean you're heartless or immature. For a lot of people, it just means they hit their limit. They already tried communicating. They already gave chances. And at some point, the most self-respecting move is to stop putting yourself in situations that keep hurting you. When you stop judging this trait, everything shifts. You stop forcing yourself to explain pain to people who never listened. You stop reopening wounds just to seem nice. You start honoring what your body's been trying to tell you the whole time. You realize protecting your nervous system isn't selfish. It's necessary. You're not someone who disappears because you don't care. You're someone who leaves because staying costs too much. You understand that peace isn't something you negotiate for forever. Sometimes it's something you choose quietly. And if this video just put words to something you've done but never fully understood, you're not alone. There are a lot of people like you, self-aware, sensitive, quietly strong, learning that not every ending needs an explanation to be valid. If you want more psychology insights that help you understand your patterns instead of judging them, hit subscribe. The next video might help another part of you finally click.